Here is the project. The project file must and should be accessible by any online platform. It should be accessible from any platform. The file shouldn't placed in the Windows C because it can't be handled by the platforms used like Jupyter Notebook, Anaconda, etc. By opening the file should be start with import pandas as PD. We take the pandas. Why? Because the data is in the frames. The tabular form frames should be handled by the panda. The data frame should be used for the .csv files and the file should be saved in the file folders. In the tabular form of row and columns data should be stored in data frames that can be handled by the import pandas as PD. It should be installed in the system to access the pandas. Matplotlib is used for visualization and Seaborn as SNS is used for color visualization. NumPy is used for arrays. From sklearn model selection to divide the test and train. For example, the imported test and train should be taken in the sklearn model selection. The train must be higher than the test. It is mandatory for the train is must and should more than the test value. From sklearn preprocessing is used to read the columns and rows data through the label encoder and one-hot encoder. They are used to read the data of rows and columns. The linear regression model is used for the regression in the data, and the decision tree regressor is used for the importing of data. XGBoost is used to get the fast results. The absolute error and mean square error are used to make the data get matrix is used for to find of mean absolute error and mean square error R to score. Pickle is used for the .pkl files. Here we do the test and train. After doing test and train, we get the .pkl files. Those are done when we are using decision tree and XGBoost. By using this only we get the pkl files. To read the data overall by this process, we use the pickle. Here we do the pd.read csv to read the csv file. The tile is from the last. If there is head, it is from the starting. For example, we take tile. The data from the last was read by the system. The data read by from the last, we use the tile option. If we use head, from the first to 5 rows has been done, and if we use tile, from last to the 5 rows had been done. The reading of data has been done. If we specifically mention the data in tile, it was read the data from the down to up. If we specifically mention the numbers in the head, it should be in the read from top to down. The labels are order date, ship mode, category and sales, mostly quantity and discount, and surely the profit, the main one. We divide these all things as labels. Look at once, the D of order date is order date. The first one is the order date. Then later the year and date of the year and the month and order of the date. The date columns should be placed in the in place true. It should be carry from the columns. X is defined as profit in the columns. If we remove the X profits, the profit sector total would be vanished to get the overall values in the rows and columns. We placed Y as profits and the profits are mentioned in the rows and columns as table data. The table rows and columns are get multiplied to get the data in the y value. The data should be written as x train, x test, x train, y test, train test split as test size and random state. And the test size is 0.2 and the random state is 42. And the y test should be as the same as similar as the x train, x test and y train. It should be mentioned in the as above. The data should be as x test and x train, y train and y test. Based on the model, the value should be defined. The profit and length R should be calculated in the main train. The x test is used to define the ship mode, category, sales, quantity, discount, year, month, and the data should be written as in columns and rows as the x test should be written. And later y train. The future engineering task is used in the y train. The data should be written as only profit and length in the y train. The y train should be as float 64 as per the model selection. As same as the x train, y train is also represent the values in the way of columns and rows as profit, and x train should be in the quantity and discount and year per month is written as the data. Linear regression decision tree in XGBoost. The XGBoost would implement all the models at a time. The XGBoost is represented as objective in the regression squared error, and the best model is none. Look at the 9. The model fit was only doing the x train and y train. The only thing happening in that sector in that thing is x train and y train. The only training sector in both x and y is done in the model, and the auto score is test to be predicted for the name of a model. We selected the CSV data. We train the x train and y train. What we do in modeling is only we train. We check the model, and the model is machine learning model. We check the machine learning model through x train and y train. We saving the model in the system. Writing the file handling with the best model pickle. Best model is saved as best model pickle in the print file, and the file should be mentioned in the 10th row. The train data is read in the pickle, and it is the best model ever. The only best model would be dumped into the pickle model. It will dump into the pickle model. We would plot the data and the figure. Figure size is 1510. The subplot must be in the place of 3, and the values are 2, 3, 1. The sales must be visualized in the bins 30 and true value, and the color must be in the blue for the sales distribution. We visualize the data given from the pickle into different sectors by making the subplot values of 2, 3, 3 for sales and profit, sales versus profit, and the subplot profit in another case was 2, 3, 4 for the category and sales, and the data DF sales by category. The category was mentioned in the model. For the profit of each one, we should visualize in the data of visualization. The visualization is mentioned for the every value, particular value, and it is visualized clearly in the system. Sales distribution, ship mode distribution, sales versus profit, sales by profit. These are all visualized in the way of seeking performance of the different sectors, different values for the same profit distribution, sales versus profit, and the sales by category, ship mode distribution. We should know there is how many rows and columns through looking at a method. The method should vary to read the total number of rows and columns in single row, and the rows and columns should be mentioned as per particularly for the each one sector. Just one method is enough to look the total valuations. At the last, we make visualization for the data given in the above, and the overall data is visualized in the chart-like forms. All the code was dumped into the best model pickle in the folders, and it should be stored in the folders as best model pickle. They are main train, templates, and superstore, and the superstore is open. The superstore data is as shown in the system. The data is a huge thing in the system. The total rows are 9,995 rows. It was a huge data. To make a normal calculation is not possible, since we use the systematic calculations to make the calculated version. Look at the home page. The home page is filled with the contact, description, detect, home, and result, and these all things are mentioned in the single folder. As shown in the system, the home page looks like this: sales performance analysis for retail business using machine learning. Detected sales performance, project description, and the contact details is mentioned in the data. The prediction should be shown here by the entering values of ship mode, month, year, sales, category, quantity, discount. If the values we given, it will predict the output of the how much profit or loss should be given for the given data. The finally shown data is the thing which we saw in this. The description process is machine learning based sales prediction. Here all the data is shown in the website, and the website is linked with our folders, and your updations in the file folders should be shown in the websites in very frequently for the changes shown for the website page. The direction should be shown as per the given shown figures. We should add the details of hours in the shown columns by making changes in the file folders. By opening the contact folder, we get the changes in our website, and by opening the contact in the folders, we will get the details to change in our website page. The details is changed as for to make changes in contact, we should open the file in the notepad. When the other tabs are opening, we should have to change the directory to notepad. By changing open with notepad, we get the notepad with the details of our filled contacts, and we can edit the details in the file as you like to get the progress in the website page. We should edit the name of hours by deleting the name of student which is given. Here is the details of making prediction. The prediction page is as shown in the detail, and the changes should be mentioned in the web page. We can get result. We can open result to get the prediction result in the return to home, and the result is shown in the box, and return to home is to go back step. We should have the checkpoints, static, and the templates in the folders, and the best model PKL, main train, and sample superstores. These are used to make the detailed versions of each detailing of the each sector in the web pages. Here we can start the execution from the folder of 5th as shown in the system. The folder is main train. By opening the main train, we can get the execution. We have to execute this in the Jupyter notebook. We should open the ideally for the main train, and we should take a new file in the desktop of batch sales performance for retails. And main, we should get the code. We should get the, and we have to zoom in the web page to get the full screen. And here we can get the details of flask, important flask, and the description HTML should be mentioned in the detected approach. The details should be mentioned in the description data and HTML for the contact details. We detected the data file of FICL file. To attach the file we had made in the backend to get in the of home route. The home page details and the predicted input data should be mentioned in the predicted profit and predicted profit 2F and the detected HTML. Description, contact details, contact HTML. Class file is used for the website updation of buttons and scroll downs and for the backgrounds. Another pickle is the file format. The file formats are stored in the pickle. First thing we have to done in this is in the files for fifth, the main train should be first executed in the training files, and we should have to open in the main train in the source file to make Jupyter source file, and this file is firstly must and should open in the main train. Here we look at the main train for opening first step of the making of project. After the execution we should do the data which was shown in the previous has to execute in the file, and the data should be come in the rows and columns wise. To get the execution of this data we should run the train. After the execution of all this data, after the execution we should open the Anaconda prompt. After we placing the file path in the Anaconda prompt, we get the IP address code for Anaconda prompt. In Anaconda prompt we have to place the main train file path in the Anaconda prompt. We should come back to the files, and the files which are shown is main train should be done in the Jupyter, and the function of main train is first done in the Jupyter, and later we move to the next one of sixth one which is main. It should be done in the Anaconda prompt. The path should be pasted in the Anaconda prompt. The IP address will be shown as following in the Anaconda prompt. Main train should be executed in the Jupyter notebook. Next process is the main, and the main should be executed in the Anaconda prompt. The first one is main train, and the second step is to make firstly is main main.py master should done of main is in the Anaconda prompt. The IP address should be copied at once. The IP address was copying fastly at the once make the process fast and furious. If we make the copy of second time, we won't say it wouldn't done, but it would take some time and get lagging issues. So must make sure that we can make the IP address is copying for the first time. The main master should be placed in the Anaconda prompt. The IP address value should be copied for the system, and it should be placed in the browser. We always make main in the Anaconda prompt and main train in the Jupyter. The main is the Python file, and the main train is the Jupyter source file, and it should be must be open in Jupyter notebook, and the main should be open only in the Anaconda prompt. The IP address should be pasted in the browsers to get our web page, and the web page will give the details of our sectors. We have to do the files and the visualization process, and we get the data from starting to ending. We have to run all the modules step by step for checking the program. First we are trying to make running the first step, and it was executed to second one. By row column it was next extended to the line by line. The data should be running checking for code free error. If there is any error, the code shouldn't run and it should be error, and the project wouldn't run. For to make it clear, we would have to run step by step process. By making step by step process, we can find the error easily. The rows and columns are read by the system easily by running step by step, and we are running the data from the row by row and columns in the X test, Y test and Y train. Here we are running X test, and we are running Y train. Later we are running X train. Here the end of the first sector, the linear regression decision tree XGBoost. Here the XGBoost linear regression has been run first 8th, and the squared error is coming. The RT score is the jump error in the segment of making code, and RT score is 0.722306278979055, and the RT score should be in the minus valuation, and XGBoost RT score is in the positive value of 0.20, and the other values are all neglectable. The module is same model file. The model file is saved in the best PKL model web, and the file is as shown in the file folders. The file folders are must and should be placed in the segment of the same model file, and we are running the same model file. The step by step process is done, and we have to plot figure, and the plot figure 231 subplot, and the values are to be ensured in the subplot file. Here hy7 is the next not defined function in the name error. We should have to recall the lost option, most recent call lost, and the sales and execution are true and blue. Figure size is 1500 and 100 with 0 axis, and the detected lines are to be announced in the way of hy7, and the sales category, profit distribution, sales distribution are to be mentioned in the program. The mentioned hy7 is to be in the name file error, so we have to mention hashtag to get the code error. We are running again, and the error is get vanished. We get the visualizations of data in different forms. The visualization of data is bar graph and dotted graph, and to be compared graph, and the ship mode, category, etc. The file should be saved in the file model. The saved file should be have to get the error feed, and we get the output. Next we can go to the files and copying the path of our program. By copying it, we should have to place it in the Anaconda prompt. We are in the Anaconda prompt and taking the file. We have to type cd space and our copied path, later Python library of by tapping the tab button main.py, Python main.py to get our output and enter the value. We get the IP address, and we are copying it 127.0.0.1 semicolon 5000. The IP address is to be placed in the browser of to get our program files. We should have to go to any browser. Let us be taking our browser as Chrome, and we are pasting the IP address in the Chrome. Here the project details of ours, and detect sales performance, project description, contact. Project description shows the how it was working, how the details has to be entered, and return home to get the main page. Detect sales performance, year, month, ship mode, category, sales quantity, discount. Here enter sales data for prediction. We are entering, for example, 2020 of a month of for example of second month. The ship mode should be For example, we take the ship mode 5 and the category should be in the valuation of 5. The sales should be in the 1200 and later the quantity should taken as 23 and the discount is 5. We are predicting the value for these values. We get minus $19.75 as the predicted profit. Here we get the prediction of our project through the making this all. If we predict with the empty fields, it show please fill out this field. We are already filled this field and get the output. To have contact, we should have to change our contact details to our name to give the data to be shown as our data, and the data is to be edited in the templates files file folders of contact in the file folders. We should have to go to Chrome and paste again the IP address which the project that will come. Why? Because we didn't close the Anaconda prompt. If we stop the process of making Anaconda prompt, it would stop. By the process is being done step by step in the Anaconda prompt. By making Control C in the Anaconda prompt, the process had been stopped, and if we apply the IP address, it wouldn't be done and it show an error. Here is our project as shown. The IP address must be used in the Anaconda prompt while running. See, the first opened file is also get freezed. Thank you all.